I saw a little girl. She was out on the street, she was dressed as a princess, heels on her feet. Tiara and all, she looked so complete, yet she stood out a mile in the middle of the street. Passers-by stopped and stared as she walked through the town. Some people pointed, whilst others frowned. Who does that woman think she is, allowing her child to dress like this, out in public? It's an utter disgrace, frolicking around in pink silky lace. But this little girl did not care one bit. Why should she ever worry about trying to fit into a society she does not even know yet to exist? And good on her mother for not trying to insist that her daughter should wear something without any flair, because this little girl should be told not to care, even if people do stop and stare. This girl who dressed up did just not fit in. She stood out because she wasn't in line with the system. See, society, an ideology of what governments perceive we ought to be. We're trapped in the structure, this rigid routine where we go to great lengths which are truly obscene to replicate the women we see in a magazine. Dream. That's what we're always told. But this dream is a commodity to be bought and sold. See, the government are masters of disguise, making rules which we unconsciously abide, and so we find ourselves ultimately tied, for this is a system we're so firmly inside. All forms of media communicate the message. The ideal way to look and how people dress is success is dependent on your outward appearance. If you don't look right, you'll end up in clearance. We like to pretend we live perfect lives when really it's all just fantasy and lies. Instagram, Facebook, they're such toxic sites, everyone on them just obsessed with the likes. We think that we're all happy and content, yet we cannot see through all this detriment. Rent, loans, homes, it's great for those who ultimately get the lives that they chose. But what about all the people out on the street? No shelter for them, no shoes on their feet, begging for money. But we couldn't possibly pay a man or a woman who puts on such a display, utter dismay in the way they behave. Their bodies so withered, their skin so grey. Much better to walk on, ignore their sad little life. Why worry about them when you are so rife with friends and money? No care in the world, just following the system like a good little girl. Why think about refugees when they're all overseas? The acknowledged enigma with the mental health stigma. People don't understand why you may need a hand if your life isn't going the way that you planned. Just prescribe them a pill straight over the till, or if they're really crazy when their eyes go all hazy, we'll lock them away to keep them at bay, out of sight, out of mind. It may be cliche, but this is how our society works. It's just most of us focus on all of the perks. So when will we finally realise that we all need to stop and open our eyes? Just stop striving for perfection, just be at your best. Be the little girl wearing that pink princess dress.